Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting for May 30th, 2022 for the City of Dauphin. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples and homeland of the Métis Nation. And we affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that the regular council meeting agenda be amended as follows. Additions, there's 3 of them. 7A, funding approval for Heritage Resources Conservation Grant Program. 9I, citizen appointment for the Communities in Bloom Committee. And 11A4, the Dauphin Fire Department Manitoba Association of Fire Chiefs Conference, which is June, or part of it is on June 3rd of this year. No deletions. Any questions or comments there? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. And moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council accepts the regular council meeting agenda now as amended. No questions, I'm assuming, so call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that Council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting, that of the May 9th, 2022 regular council meeting. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Be it resolved that Council now adjourns to hear the public hearings as scheduled. All in favor? It's carried. Okay. All 3 at once. So just looking at the conditional use application for 12.07.34900/CU-22-01/01 216 Hawthorne Avenue, conditional use application 12.07.349.100C/CU-22-01/02, that's 220 Hawthorne Avenue, and 4A3, conditional use application 12.07.349.200/CU-22-01/03, 224 Hawthorne Avenue, registered for in-person attendance for all 3 of those. Jillian, I'm going to have to ask you to say your last name because I don't want to butcher it.
Ungren.
Ungren. So thank you for attending. We will now proceed with the public hearings for conditional use applications, 216 Hawthorne Avenue, 220 Hawthorne Avenue, and 224 Hawthorne Avenue for owner applicant for lots 3, 4, 5, and 6, Plan 51506 DLTO to allow for construction of two-family dwelling units on single zoning sites to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw. Would the applicant like to speak in favor of the applications? That's what, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. Does council have any questions for the applicant? Councillor Bellemare.
Sure. If you're here, you might as well talk, right? Are you looking at starting all 3 at the same time, or are you going to do 1, then 2, then 3? What's your plan for that?
I would like to start all 3 at the same time.
And do you have a contractor? Because I know that's okay.
Not yet.
Oh, you're working on that. Okay. Well, thank you for your interest in doing this.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is there any person present in support of these applications who wishes to speak? Is there any person present who wishes to speak in objection to these applications? Is there anyone else who wishes to make a presentation on these applications? All right, well, the representations for the public hearings are now completed. It's that easy. Yeah, you can go if you want. I mean, lots of people like to stay and take part in the regular council meeting, but thanks, Jillian. Have a good night. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council now reconvenes to the regular council meeting. All in favor? Motion carried. seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application 12.07.349.000/CU-22-01/01 for owner applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 4, Plan 51506 DLTO 216 Hawthorne Avenue to allow for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin bylaw be now concluded. Any final questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application for owner and applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 5, 220 Hawthorne Avenue to allow for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be now concluded. All in favor? Motion carried. And moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application for owner and applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 6, 224 Hawthorne Avenue to allow for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be now concluded. And all in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Juba, whereas due notice was given with respect to conditional use application 12.07.349.000/CU-22-01/01, and whereas no objections were received to said application, so be it resolved that conditional use application for owner and applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 4, 216 for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be approved with the following conditions. The applicant obtains a minor variance approval prior to construction for the reduced front to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw 04/2015. Number 2, the applicant obtains a building permit from the City of Dauphin for the construction of the proposed two-family dwelling, and all construction shall conform to the Manitoba Building Code. Number 3, the new two-family dwelling unit will require a new utility service branch connection and extension from the street lines to the building. The owner will be responsible for the cost of this service connection. And number 4, a subdivision of the single lot will be required to be obtained by the owner to allow separate title of each lot and dwelling unit. Any questions or comments? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Two more times. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Bellemare, whereas due notice was given with respect to conditional use application 12.07.349.100/CU-22-01/02, and whereas no objections were received to said application, so be it resolved that conditional use application for owner and applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 5, 220 Hawthorne Avenue to allow for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be approved with the following conditions. And I believe all 4 are the same, but they're numbered 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. I'll just write that on here then. 1, 2, 3, 4. But they are the same as the previous. So with that being said, any questions or comments? All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Juba. Last one, whereas due notice was given with respect to conditional use application 12.07.349.200/CU-22-01/03, and whereas no objections were received to said application, be it resolved that conditional use application for owner and applicant Jillian Ungren for Lot 6, that is 224 Hawthorne Avenue, to allow for construction of a two-family dwelling in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be approved with the following conditions. Again, they are the same 4 conditions. Any questions or comments finally? Seeing none, call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay, get your proclamations ready. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5 consent agenda be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. 5 proclamations today, and I know everyone's tired of hearing my voice, so I've got 5 different people saying these proclamations, and I'm going to start with number 1, and that is Bike Week. So I will throw it to Deputy Mayor Devin Stikilo. Take her away.
Thank you for that. So this proclamation reads, whereas the City of Dauphin's adoption of an active transportation strategy in 2021 reflects the city's commitment to encouraging active living, promoting cycling opportunities, and doing our part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And whereas the Dauphin Active Living and Transportation Committee and the Dauphin Derailers Cycling Club have worked hard to foster a positive and inclusive cycling culture that supports a lifestyle of wellness and a connection to nature. And whereas the City of Dauphin is committed to enhancing cycling experiences, activities, and culture in the Parkland by developing infrastructure and encouraging residents to bike to school, to work, and to shop wherever possible. Now therefore we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim June 6th to the 12th, 2022 as Bike Week, dated at the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba this 30th day of May 2022, signed by Mayor Lachlan.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Stikilo. We'll go to our next proclamation, which is for Pride Month, and reading that one is Councillor Bellemare.
Thank you. Whereas June is recognized as Pride Month in Canada and around the world as an opportunity to celebrate diversity, promote equal rights, and build awareness of the challenges faced by our LGBTQ2 and friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. And whereas we recognize the ongoing struggle for dignity, equality, and personal safety for LGBTQ2 people, and know that much work remains to be done to ensure an inclusive society for all. And whereas the City of Dauphin supports an inclusive and respectful community where all citizens can live, work, and play in a safe and secure environment where diversity is accepted and celebrated, now therefore we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim June 2022 as Pride Month, dated at the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba, the 30th day of May, and signed by Christian Lachlan, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bellemare. Proclamation number 3, Lieutenant Colonel W.G. Billy Barker, VC Day, and this one will be read by Councillor Juba.
Thank you, Your Worship. Proclamation, whereas Lieutenant Colonel W.C. Billy Barker, VC, has been commemorated by the Government of Canada as an individual of national significance, as one of Canada's most renowned and decorated servicemen of any armed, whereas his place of birth was Dauphin, and whereas he gallantly served as a pilot in World War I, and whereas he received the Victoria Cross in 1918 for his outstanding bravery, and whereas we recognize his loyalty, dedication, and sacrifice. Now, the City of Dauphin do hereby proclaim June 1st, 2022 as Lieutenant Colonel W.G. Billy Barker VC Day, dated the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba this 30th day of May 2022, and signed by Christian Lachlan, our Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Juba. The 4th proclamation is World Oceans Day, and that'll be read by our youth member, Catherine Kowalchuk. Go ahead.
Thank you. Whereas Wednesday, June 8th, 2022, the 30th annual World Oceans Day is the United Nations Day for celebrating the role of the ocean in everyday life and inspiring action to protect it. And whereas countries around the world, including Canada as the prominent leader, have committed to protecting 30% of our ocean territory by 2030, in order to reserve nature loss in the ocean and safeguard at-risk marine life. And whereas the ocean is home to hundreds of species at risk and to vulnerable ecosystems, and is a crucial carbon sink shielding us from the worst of climate change. And whereas the ocean produces over half the world's oxygen and absorbs 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. And whereas protecting the ocean is in the interest of all life on Earth and communities both coastal and inland, as it is essential to our shared future. And whereas it is important for municipal leaders to demonstrate support for actions to safeguard the ocean as they have for action on climate change and other environmental matters of our national importance. And whereas in celebrating the ocean and protecting its habitats and ecosystems, we can together raise the profile of ocean conservation's and critical role in improving planetary health and slowing the crisis of species collapse and ecosystem decline. Now, therefore, we the Council of the City of Dauphin do hereby proclaim June 8th, 2022 as World Oceans Day, dated at the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba, this 30th day of May 22, 2022, signed by Mayor Lachlan.
Great job. Thank you. And finally, our last proclamation for Public Service Week will be read by Councillor Eilers. Go ahead.
Thank you. Whereas by the Act of Parliament in 1992, the third week of June was proclaimed as Public Service Week, and whereas public service employees from all three levels of government share a common link that sets them apart from employees in other sectors, and whereas in their commitment to serve the citizens of our cities, provinces, and country with professionalism, expertise, and sensitivity to the challenges faced by the ever-changing public. And whereas the quality of our daily lives is significantly enhanced by the work of our employees, and whereas public service employees should be thanked for their contribution to society, now therefore we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim June 12th to the 18th, 2022 as Public Service Week, dated at the City of Dauphin in the province of Manitoba, this 30th day of May 2022. Christian Lachlan, Mayor.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for reading a proclamation here today, and all of those, of course, as recommended by the mayor and the city manager. We'll move now to the outstanding water accounts added to taxes. Be resolved that the following water account be added to taxes. Just one, 29 Fifth Avenue Northwest. Previous tenant did not pay their final utility bill, so that one amounts to $175.29, and that is recommended by the Director of Finance and the utility clerk. Continuing on, receivable added to taxes. Be it resolved that the following accounts receivable be added to taxes. That is for 24 3rd Avenue Southwest, back lane tree trimming, totaling $5.21, and that is recommended by the Director of Finance and the tax clerk. Under number 8, community events, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival. That's going to happen on June 11th of this year. Dauphin Agricultural Society Fair, of course, excited to have that back July 1st to the 3rd. The Parkland Chamber of Commerce annual street on July 28th. And of course, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Parade is slated for July 30th. Whereas the Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries allows municipalities to declare community events. So be it resolved that Council recognizes the following events as community events: Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Kickoff Party, the Dauphin Ag Society, Parkland Chamber of Commerce Annual Street Fair, and Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Parade. Under B, filing items, number 1, Association of Manitoba Municipalities, the 2022 AMM Member Advisory, the Manitoba Municipal Board Information Session, and news bulletins for May 13th and 27th. Number 2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, the President's Forum, and FCM Connect for May 10th, 13th, 17th, and 25th. Under number 3, the Manitoba Government News Releases, Health, Improved Medical, from the Premier, $15 million for municipalities to support road repairs. From Sport, Culture, and Heritage, investment to support heritage projects. And from Justice, bill to modernize liquor service licensing. For media bulletins, the precautions to minimize risk of tick exposure and aquatic invasive species. Number 4, the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, outstanding Manitobans chosen to receive the Order of Manitoba, and the Historical Preservation Award presented to 3 Manitobans. I believe Ed Stozek, a local historian, was one of those. So congratulations, Ed. Number 5, Mountain View School Division, new superintendent / CEO, and the News Digest for May 9th of this year. Number 6, Municipal Relations, City of Dauphin Municipal Operating Grant and Mitigation and Preparedness Program. Number 7, Fibromyalgia, Rodney's favorite word, Association of Canada, the Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. And number 8, Office of MLA Brad McCluskey, a request for nominations for Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee Medal. Number 9, Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation's Sunshine Gardens. And number 10, the Fort Dauphin Museum Incorporated, the 2021 financial statements. All those as recommended by the mayor and the city manager. Any questions or comments regarding any items under item 5? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for today's meeting, May 30th, 2022, of the City Manager. Take it away, City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been, I think, 3 weeks since our last meeting, and some updates for everyone. It seemed like in this time I was able to partake in 4 training opportunities. The first one was at the Administration Building in Mountain View School Division. They led an Indigenous reconciliation circle. It was a unique experience that helped me further understand and appreciate Indigenous people and their history. The Reconciliation Circle is a project that's part of a research grant that Mountain View School Division is partaking in over the course of several years. There was also some reading suggestions provided at the session, and I'm almost finished one of those books, and it's very thought-provoking. I also attended a webinar hosted by the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators, or CAMA, and it was regarding a human resource toolkit, and also a webinar hosted by Manitoba Municipal Administrators regarding asset management. And lastly, I attended a webinar hosted by Environment and Climate Change Canada regarding hazardous materials regulations as they pertain to Transport Canada regulated facilities. And for us, that would be the Dauphin Airport. Next thing I wanted to report on is something that we talked about, I think it was closer to Christmas, and I finally gotten the time or scheduled the time to do it after our big budget deliberations that take so much of our spring. So as per the Workplace Safety and Health Act, the City of Dauphin has a safety and health program. Last week I started reviewing the above mentioned act as well as the regulations to better understand our program and ensure that we're covering all of the requirements. The City of Dauphin and the Arm of Dauphin will be hosting the 2022 AMM June district meetings. And so together with staff here, as well as at the RM office, we have been doing the preparation work to host that meeting. So that meeting will be held on June 22nd at the Aspen Lodge. And so we're working on things like venue and meals and the audio system and the administration of check-in and things like that. So we are looking forward to hosting councils and staff from municipalities in the Parkland and executive and staff from the AMM. Another thing to update you on is the Parkland Regional Immigration Committee, and I know that our Economic Development Manager has also prepared some more detailed information about this committee. But several months ago, the city and the RM met with the Chamber of Commerce, Regional Connections, and a former business owner regarding the possibility of 2 municipalities working with the Manitoba regarding an immigration program that focuses on attracting immigrants for specific vacant employment opportunities. And this was definitely before any of the war broke out in Ukraine and any of the immigration that we're seeing because of that. So this opportunity was then presented at a Parkland Regional Working Group meeting, and that was to gauge interest of the other municipalities, and that resulted in Mossy River, Grandview, St. Rose, and Gilbert Plains also participating in this regional immigration committee. The committee is drawing on supports from the Parkland Chamber of Commerce and Regional Connections and any other organizations that may assist when appropriate. The city's economic development manager is chairing the committee and helping to navigate the process of legitimizing the committee with the province. He's prepared, as I said, another memo in a separate item. Bring forth that the next step in the process is for each municipality to pass a resolution supporting the committee and the intent to participate in this immigration. It is geared or focused on municipalities. In the creation of the committee is that no elected officials sit on the committee. So it's kind of different that way. So we've been working together with staff from other municipalities to make. In terms of human resources, I dealt with or consulted with senior management on 3 HR issues. I provided a reference for a previous employee, and I met with management of the utility department. And I just got a text message about 5 minutes ago from our municipal emergency coordinator, and he wanted me to just make note. We want to get the word out that Environment Canada, or let me see, it was Environment Canada and Climate Change. They are forecasting some extreme winds in the next couple days starting tonight. So our favorite Colorado low is coming back, and what they're forecasting is winds between 80 and 100 kilometers an hour from the north. So Mr. Daly indicated that we have to be cognizant of our surroundings, seek shelter if necessary, be prepared for potential power outages due to tree damage to power lines, and specifically around Dauphin Lake at the south shore. The winds will be driving that water up and over, and there'll be significant waves and increase in the water level at that location. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments regarding the city manager's report? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that the finance accounts have been examined by council and be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals ranging from 29699 to 29783. That's 85 checks, totaling $495,451.79. Voided checks in the current range, there were none. Voided checks in past ranges, there were none, and there were no electronic payments as well. Any questions or comments regarding those check totals? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Be it resolved that council accepts information, the minutes and report from the following committees. Number 1, Dauphin at-risk teens, the START model programs, the 2021 year-end report. Number 2, Dauphin and District Handy Van Association, regular board meeting on April the 4th. Number 3, Communities in Bloom Committee, their regular board meeting on April 21st. Dauphin Recreation Services, under number 4, their regular board meetings for March 30th and April 27th. And under number 5, the Intermountain Watershed District regular board meeting for March 16th and April 22nd. Any question or comments regarding those minutes? Go ahead, Councillor Bellemare.
Just to comment that we're getting more minutes from more committees, and that's really good. It really helps us to understand all the things that are going on in our community, and it helps us to coordinate initiatives between them. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, I'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated May 26th, 2022 from Jeff Natchik, Deputy Minister of Sport, Culture and Heritage, advising that the City of Dauphin has been awarded $25,000 through the Heritage Resources Conservation Grant Program to assist with the window upgrades project at the Watson Arts Center. Any questions or comments there? Councillor Bellemare.
Just that this is the second grant that we have for the windows, and the city is throwing in some money so that project can move forward, and that's long overdue because when you look at the state of those windows, it's really great that these are going to be upgraded.
Indeed. Any other questions or comments? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo. Whereas residential and commercial incentives must be approved by council, be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated May 26, 2022 from the Economic Development Manager, noting that council had expressed verbal support for an agreement for the city of Dauphin to provide for the installation of water and sewer lines to the Habitat for Humanity Dauphin chapter build on 7th Avenue Northeast, with Habitat for Humanity agreeing to pay for all other city of Dauphin fees, including permits. Further, be it resolved that council confirms their approval of the agreement with Habitat for Humanity Dauphin chapter to provide for the installation of water and sewer lines for the 7th Avenue Northeast build as noted above. Any questions or comments there? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Whereas the City of Dauphin enters into an annual agreement with the Dauphin Community Concert Band leader, which specifies payment of $156.25 per rehearsal and performance to a maximum of $5,000 per year. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated May 25th, 2022 from Candace McMillan, Dauphin Community Band Committee Citizen Representative, advising that John Bettner will be replacing the current Dauphin Community Concert Band leader, Taylor Schmidt, for some of these duties through May and June of this year. Further, be it resolved that Council authorizes John Bettner to be paid for his Dauphin Community Concert Band services through May and June of this year, as per the contract payment provisions noted above. Any questions or comments there? Councillor Bellemare.
Yeah, just noticing that Taylor Schmidt had some changes in his job duties for that time period, so John is filling in for him during that. So there's nothing wrong or anything there. It's just a job change.
All right, perfect. Any other questions or comments? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that approval is granted to the Parkland Chamber of Commerce to hold their annual street fair and dance on July 28th, 2022 for the closure of 1st Avenue Northwest and part of 1st Street Northwest from 6 a.m. Thursday, July 28th, 2022 to 9 a.m. Friday, July 29th, 2022, with conditions outlined in City Policy 3.1 and any conditions as requested by the RCMP and Emergency Services. And further, be it resolved that Council waives the blanket license fee required of the Parkland Chamber of Commerce for the vendors participating in the displays and other vending booths for this event, with the Parkland Chamber of Commerce holding the City of Dauphin exempt from any liability that may arise from the event. Any questions or comments there?
Isn't the street fair usually one day? Are they making it 2 days?
It's to allow for
Clean up. Yeah,
it's
go
a
ahead.
set up and clean
in
up.
the morning. Got it. Yes.
Yeah. Good to see them moving there. I think that was Stephen Chicota's really excited to have it on that street, so that's good. Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stikilo. Whereas in 2019, Health Canada changed the testing location and maximum acceptable level of lead in drinking water. And whereas while the water produced at the City of Dauphin's water treatment plant meets all national and provincial standards for drinking water, approximately 420 properties in Dauphin have been identified to have lead service line connections between the main water line and the property's water meter, which could potentially contribute to the presence of lead in the drinking water at these locations. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memorandum from the Director of Public Works and Operations outlining the Health Canada changes to lead testing for drinking water and the presence of lead service connections to some properties in Dauphin, and recommending a $1,000 incentive rebate for property owners choosing to hire the City of Dauphin to replace their portion of the lead service line. Am I saying that right, or am I saying, I'm saying it right, right? Okay, good. It's just, I keep seeing lead in my head. City of Dauphin to replace their portion of the lead service line, property line to the water meter, with priority given to properties adjacent to water main replacements. Further be it resolved that council agrees with the recommendation from the Director of Public Works and Operations and approves the above-mentioned lead line reduction incentive program for the 2022 construction season, with a review of the effectiveness of at the end of this year. Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Councillor Eilers.
Thank you for putting this forward. I always thought when we started before that there should be some incentive. It is really for the whole benefit of the community and the health of our citizens. So I think this is wonderful. I don't know what the uptake is, but I sure hope it's higher than it has been before. Because it'll save us money in, when the lines we have to do repair, and if you replace them with new lines, I think in the long run will benefit not only the citizens, but the city of Dauphin.
Any other questions or comments? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Whereas on February 18th, 2022, on the recommendation of the Place Brand Committee, the City of Dauphin released a request for proposals for the development of a new standalone tourism website, which closed on March 11th of this year. And be it resolved that Council accepts this information, a memorandum dated May 16th, 2022, from the Marketing Coordinator, advising that 19 proposals were received for the development of the Dauphin tourism website, and recommending that the contract be awarded to Sequence Incorporated for a cost not exceeding $30,250 plus applicable taxes, plus a yearly hosting fee of $4,320 thereafter. Further be it resolved that Council agrees with the recommendation from the Marketing Coordinator and awards the contract for the development of a new tourism website to Sequence Incorporated, authorizing the Sequence Incorporated Marketing Services Agreement to be signed and sealed by the City Manager on behalf of the City of Dauphin. Any questions or comments there? Call those. All in motion.
So just sequence, or because I know they have those crazy letters. So what's the official name of the company?
So the official name is CQNS, whatever, but it's pronounced Sequence.
So that's just to make sure that we know how to say it.
Yes. Of the employees, because they did some work for us before, and he said, at the time we were sitting around the table and thought it was really fun, but nobody actually ever pronounces it correctly until we say it.
The other, okay, we proved that one. So moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers. So whereas a travel policy, the mayor or council designate on the mayor's behalf may attend the Federation of Canadian Municipalities annual conference each year term. Councillors may attend up to twice during an elected term, and out-of-province travel must receive prior approval by council. Be it resolved that council accepts this information correspondence dated May 20 this year from the Deputy City Manager, recommending that Deputy Mayor Stakilo's attendance at the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference June 2nd to the 5th in Regina, Saskatchewan be approved. Further approves this out-of-province travel request with all expenses to be borne by the City of Dauphin. Questions or comments there? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Councillor Eilers, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Whereas Fire Chief Cameron Abry negotiated a contract with Archangel Fireworks Incorporated for the provision of a fireworks display for Canada Day celebrations for 2022. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the contract between the City of Dauphin and Archangel Fireworks Incorporated for the provision of a fireworks display for Canada Day on July 1st of this year. And further be it resolved that Council the contract with Archangel Fireworks Incorporated to be signed and sealed by the Fire Chief Cameron Abry on behalf of the City. Questions or comments there? Councillor Juba.
Yes. Is there a cost for the fireworks? And what is the cost for that?
Celebrations, and it's not on the top of my head, but I think the Councilor
think-
Bellemare indicated 5,500 this year.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I just wanted to remember.
Any comments? Right, call those, all in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Whereas a 2-year hiatus, Dauphin's Country Fest is scheduled to take place July 1st to the 3rd this year. Resolve the council accepts as information a memorandum dated May 20th, 2022 from the marketing coordinator. Approval of a long-standing sponsorship agreement between the City of Dauphin and Dauphin's Country Fest, which outlines, similar to previous years, the city's contributions to an estimated value of $12,000, including use of the city's sewage lagoon and the city's secondary garbage truck, the blading of roads, landfill tipping fees, and promotion of Country Fest events in return for Country Fest recognizing Tourism Dauphin in their promotions. Further be it resolved, the council agrees with the marketing coordinator's recommendation and authorizes the sponsorship agreement with Dauphin's Country Fest to be signed and sealed by the city manager on behalf of the City of Dauphin. Any questions or comments there? Good to have Country Fest. Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eiler, seconded by Deputy Mayor Stakilo. Municipalities in the Parkland are interested in working together to be champions to grow the population base through immigration in our communities. And whereas various other groups are poised to help, Chamber of Commerce and Regional Connections. And be it resolved that the City of Dauphin commits to participate in the Parkland Regional Immigration Committee and partner with the Province of Manitoba to create and execute a strategy for immigrants to the Parkland to assist local employers to fill vacant positions. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, we'll call those. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that accepts information correspondence dated March 7th, 2022 from Shirley Bomack, District Supervisor for Manitoba Municipal Relations Assessment Services, confirming that the annual sitting of revision for the 2023 assessment roll is scheduled for Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Any questions or comments there? Call those. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Eilers, whereas the city has determined a need for citizen representation on the communities in, and whereas Susan Torden has expressed an interest in sitting on this committee, so be it resolved that council authorizes the appointment of Susan Torden as a citizen representative to the Communities in Bloom Committee effective immediately for a term ending on December 31st, 2024. Any questions or comments there? Councillor Eilers.
Yes, she came when we were doing the tree giveaway and asked if we needed any help in Communities in Bloom, and she was very interested. So she came and helped us set up on Friday. She agreed on Wednesday, and she worked all day on Saturday. Communities in Bloom. She's a really good salesperson and knows a lot about plants and helped everybody pick their plants suitable for their yards. So really good person to have on our team.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the invitations listed below. Under invitations, item A, Urban Systems City Plan in a Week consultations. That's going on June 6th and the 8th of this year. Number 2, Manitoba Métis Federation Incorporated National Indigenous Peoples Day happening on June 18th. Number 3, Anishinaabe Housing Corporation's annual general meeting on June 23rd. And number 4, the Dauphin Fire Department's Manitoba Association of Fire Chiefs Conference going on later this week. Under B, community events, number 1, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival Kickoff Party happening June 11th. Urban System City Plan Community Open House, Open Planning Studio and Online Engagement, June 7th to the 9th. Number 3, Manitoba Métis Federation Incorporated National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 18th. Number 4, Dauphin Agricultural Society's Annual Fair, July 1st to the 3rd. Parkland Chamber of Commerce Annual Street Fair, July 28th is number 5. And number 6, Canada's National Ukrainian Festival, the parade happening on July 30th. Any questions or comments regarding those invitations and community events? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. And we're on to councillor privileges. And this time I will start on my right. Councillor Bellemare, if you're ready. Take her away.
Thank you. On May 11th, I attended the Dauphin and Area Welcoming Committee Coalition. We have quarterly meetings and we're setting up working groups to work in specific areas. And of course, there's a few things on tonight's agenda about immigration, so this all kind of ties in together. And on May 11th, I attended the Community Reconciliation Circle Workshop at the Mountain View School Division office, led by Carol Shankruk and Elder Bev Harvey, and that was referenced in our city manager's report. And you can understand things in your head, but it's the ones that you understand in your heart that are usually much more meaningful. And this was definitely an understand in your heart kind of day. Very worthwhile initiative by the school division to help community members move forward with reconciliation. On May 24th, through my work with the Dauphin and Area Welcoming Committee Coalition, we organized a session at City Hall for Dauphin residents with immigrant experience. Our goal was to share information on what it's like to run in a municipal election and to encourage them to become involved in municipal politics, both as a candidate and as a voter. And we also answered their questions. The speakers included a school trustee, the school board chairperson, a Reeve from the area, and myself, and Settlement Services Executive Director Deb Sanowski chaired this event. On the 25th, I attended the RM Liaison. We held our regular meeting and we continued to make good progress on matters of mutual interests. These meetings have created a solid working relationship between our two councils and we're able to work together openly and productively. Upcoming on June 17th, mark this on your calendar, there will be a giant, in all capital letters, giant yard sale at the Friendship Center. Why am I mentioning this? Well, first of all, thank you to everyone who has generously donated so many house articles for our newly arriving families from Ukraine. Once everyone's arrived and has the items necessary for their new homes, the remaining items will be sold in this yard sale, and there is a lot of stuff. So there will be all kinds of items that you could possibly want for your house available, and the proceeds for this sale will also go to assist our new Ukrainian families. So watch for ads at the Friendship Center. And congratulations to Stephen Jadek, who was recently hired as the new Superintendent of Education for Mountain View School Division. Stephen is well known in our division as he's filled many roles previous to taking on this big one. And congratulations to the Dauphin Kings for their performance at Centennial Cup in Estevan. While we were rooting for you to win it all, you had a strong performance at the event. So be proud of your accomplishments, and we'll see you in the fall. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Juba.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. May 9th, I attended a regular City Council meeting here at City Hall. On the 10th, I attended the Parkland Chamber Commerce Annual State of the City Address delivered by Mayor Christian Laughlin. May 11th, I attended the Community Reconciliation Circles at Mountain View School Division. May 12th, I was unable to attend the Parkland Chamber of Commerce General Meeting, although I sent a request on behalf of the Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund for a donation to the fund. They made a substantial donation and they will be having a press release to announce that shortly. Also, I sent to the Chamber information on progress on Habitat for Humanity and on support team activities. May 18th, I attended Protective Services Committee meeting here at City Hall. On the 19th, I attended Dauphin Regional Airport Authority Committee meeting here also at City Hall. On May 24th, the Dauphin District Handyvan had their AGM and annual general meeting. I wasn't able to attend this meeting. However, Vern Richardson is no longer the president. I just want to take time to thank Vern for his many years of dedication and service to the Parkland and District Handyvan. And there is a new president and new executive in place. The Handyvan will issue a press release and share the excitement of their new executive with the community. On May the 9th, I attended the Parkland Ukrainian Family Support Meeting here in City Hall. And on May the 14th, I attended Dauphin's Country Fest Barbecue. They had to support the Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund. I spent $20 on hot dogs and I won the grand prize tickets. So it was sort of a good event. And anyways, May 17th, I attended the park. Just going down my list here. On May 21st, I attended the Dauphin Rail Museum barbecue at the train station. Great to see people out and about. On the 24th, I was, sorry, I just want to scratch that. Habitat for Humanity construction at the lot will begin shortly, and planning official announcement at celebration event. We're having trouble getting our sponsors lined up, so we keep pushing our announcement date back, but that's okay. A brief report on the Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund. There are 5 families have arrived and 3 more families will arrive. Now I just had notification that a 4th family is going to be coming this week. The fund will keep, as money comes in, the fund will keep supporting families. And over the weekend, we had a huge announcement from the province that they will cover the immigration appointments. This will save our committee between $15,000 to $2,000 or to $20,000 in costs. This is a substantial saving, and just with these two, with this amount of money, we could probably support 2 more families. It was great to see a large crowd this weekend at the Country Fest Cinema. I attended 2 movies there, and it was great, just great to see a lot of people out. And then I just want to say, as a member of the Keystone Chorus, I just want to thank the many businesses and patrons that supported our chorus for many years. I was a member of that chapter for 30 years, and I enjoyed every minute of it. So that is my report.
Thank you, Councillor Juba. Councillor Eilers.
Thank you. May 9th, of course, City Council. On May 11th, I too attended, as mentioned before, Montview Division Indigenous Reconciliation. On May 12th, I viewed a CIB webinar, and it was very good. It was on how business improvement areas add to the vitality and the economic welfare of the community. On May 16th and 17th, actually, meetings at the Under One Roof, the Sunshine Garden Club, Park, and the raised beds. And on May 17th, Healthy Together Now, with grants to local groups. May 27th or 25th, again, we discussed different projects under one roof, Sunshine Garden Club, and plus we're going to have different planters. We're going to experiment throughout the city, actually by 2 school groups, and they're going to be called edible gardens. So we're going to grow different things that people can use. Mainly it'll be greens. Tree giveaway also on the 25th. That was very well received, and I would like to thank the Janelle Thompson, Trudy Carrier, and Wesley Carnegie for their assistance in that, as well as Gabe Mercier. It was, and with their assistance, it made this day very successful, and I have to say we had a lot of fun. Many positive comments, and we had a lot who hoped that we would make this an annual event. So I guess we'll have to twist some hands to do that. But I have to say they were very appreciative of the efforts and made sure that they talked to everyone to realize that. On saying that, also on Saturday, because there's still trees there, I had probably a dozen people willing to take some more trees because there was overage, and I had to keep telling them that this was part of the Dauphin Rec Services planting trees throughout the city. So just so we are aware of that. May the 26th, we had a CIB meeting, and we had welcomed a new member, Susan Torden, and also we were working on plans for the CIB judging coming. And I just want everybody to be aware the CIB judges will be coming through our community and touring on July the 28th. May 27th, we set up for Chip and Soils Day, and again, Margwa Solution and Susan Torden and Joanne Cooper assisted. And then we had Chip and Soil Day. It was rainy and wet, and we all had our rubber boots on. And I'd like to thank everyone who donated to our plant sale. Our plant salesperson and advisor, Susan Turden, she educated everyone, as mentioned before, in the care of the plants. And we had our pricing and cashier and sustenance provider, Margwa Solution. That means that she brought the muffins, set up the coffee. And we had our photographer and plant ID specialist, Jim Heshkai. He had to ID some of the plants because people didn't leave the names of what they were. So we value his. And of course, the soil movers. That was Gabe Dubuque and myself. We filled approximately 137 various containers, 5 gallons, and some tried to get bigger fills with that. And I'd really like to thank all the citizens for their support. I believe we had over 200 people attend. And thanks for Bursis for their soil donation, and also a special thanks to the DR staff for their setup and helping this. And we continue work on the CIB plans, read the judges. I too would like to congratulate the Dauphin Kings on their efforts. Well done. And congratulations to Edward Storzek from Dauphin and Joe Bonka from Winnipegosis for the Lieutenant Governors presenting their Historical Preservation Awards. Ed always writes fascinating stories of historical events in our area, and they're published in the Dauphin Herald, and they're truly worth reading. And I too want to congratulate Stephen Jadek on his appointment as a superintendent. Well deserved. He's worked in various schools, and I remember him from Smith Jackson. That's where I first met him, and always a very caring individual. Condolences to Irene Allard's family on her passing, a longtime resident and a community-minded member, and also condolences to Murray Marchinsky's, his family and friends on his passing. He was a longtime member of the Lions Club, that's where I knew him, and he was involved in many community events. And I want to reiterate, please keep safe and keep aware of the high winds advisory. It sounds like it's going to be, and I know already they've moved a lot of people from the by the Dauphin Lake. So, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Councillor Eilers. Deputy Mayor Stakilo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For myself, May 9th, regular council meeting. May 10th, I too attended the Chamber Luncheon, the State of the City address, and just want to tell Mayor Lachlan, job well done. He had a great presentation, so thank you for that. On May 11th, I too participated in the Indigenous Reconciliation Circle at Mountain View School Division. Councillor Bellemare eloquently put it, but it was certainly a day of reflection, and since that day too, I've put a lot of thought and some additional research into some things I had questions about while I was there. So I'm glad I was able to participate. On May 18th, economic development meeting, and then on May 19th, a Dauphin Airport board meeting. I too want to congratulate the Dauphin Kings on their successful run this whole season, especially most recently at the Centennial Cup. I know it wasn't the final outcome that they wanted, but they did very well and represented the community and region very well. So congrats to them. And just want to say thanks to all the staff involved at the City Tree giveaway last week. My wife had noticed there was still trees available, getting close to that date, so she signed us up. And I think I said this the last time we picked up a tree from there. It's not really that I need any additional leaves in my yard, but the last one I picked up hasn't been growing that rapidly, so there wasn't that much additional cleanup. So it'll be a few years for this one as well. So just thanks. It's a great thing that's offered, and I'm glad there's a lot of uptake from the community on that. And with that ends my report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Stikilo. Youth member Catherine Kowalczyk, how was Edmonton? Everyone is dying to know.
Thank you. I did tell a couple people before you got here. So yes, we went to Edmonton. It was a long 3 days, but we actually got a gold medal at the end. So it was very good. Lots of teams there. It was an amazing experience, actually. Like, you walk into the gym and there's like 15 other courts in there. It's like, wow. So very exciting, very fun. Sad that it's over, but it ended on a very good note. So that's basically all for me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the gold medal, too. For myself, May 9th, regular council meeting here at City Hall. The next day, of course, the State of the City at the Watson Arts Center. Just want to say thanks to everyone that attended. It was a great crowd. Also want to say thanks to Stephen at the Chamber. He does a great job setting those events up, too. The next day, May 11th, took part in the Community Reconciliation Circle at the Mountain View School Division office. As mentioned, a number of councillors were there. It was obviously a very powerful experience, and I want to thank all of those who helped organize it and were involved. On May 18th, the Economic Development meeting at City Hall, and then my basement flooded, so I missed the Protective Services meeting, but the basement is dry for now. We'll see what happens tonight. May 25th, the RM Liaison meeting here at City Hall. On the 26th, the Communities in Bloom meeting here at City Hall. And on May 30th, a quick meeting local MP Dan Mazer just regarding some initiatives. And I too want to congratulate the Dauphin Kings on winning the MJHL for the first time since 2010, and they advanced to the national tournament for the first time since 2014. So congratulations on a successful year, finishing in the top 4 in the country. And they're actually holding their awards banquet tonight. It was basically a 9-month season for some of those players that were here from day one. So again, congratulations. And with that being said, moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Eilers, be it resolved that the council meeting be recessed at 6:04.